So see it like aging is like a mirage. Sickness is like a mirage. Then there's not that much suffering. So to do that is easy to say. You say that the talk is cheap, you know. But we need to practice that. That's the hard part. But we have to do it. That's why it requires a lot of time. We say 3-year retreat. 3-year retreat is just very limited time. Just like to finish the course. When you're done 3-year retreat, doesn't mean you have accomplished. Of course, there are some highly great teachers. Then, due to the previous their kind of practice, that make the connection and very easy to realize, conflict. But ordinary like me, myself, 3-year retreat is just nothing. It's a matter of lifetime. So when we say, I want to go to 3-year retreat, so we shouldn't expect to accomplish all what you want within 3 years. 3 years just to get the experience, to what it looks like, what's supposed to do. Then you have to just continue. So the mind is, in one way, it's very easy. It is said, no? It is in the Shantidevas text, Bodhisattva, Nyumu, Shara make it that I as a counter doja, counter and a tanya chachon, Lotion Tala, somewhat never said. That those who are studying Tibetan maybe know now.
I just didn't understand why I didn't understand a word you said.
Okay.
I realized you weren't speaking English.
You thought it was English?
Yeah.
So afflictive emotions are just nothing. It's very fragile. Pneumonia. Just by having wisdom eye, just disappears it. Once you dispel from your mind where it goes, there's no place to go. That it doesn't go any place and come back to harm you. No. Just simply need to just get rid of from your heart, then finish it. It's just due to lack of my perseverance. I don't do enough. So in one way, it's that kind of just having the wisdom eye. It just disappears. But another, that's the very nature of the afflictive emotion that way. Another, the propensities of that is very powerful now. The propensity, the habitual tendency of that just comes back again and again. For that reason, the practice becomes necessary. Changing the habit from the afflictive emotion side to the wisdom side. Compassion, wisdom side. Change from that, what we call replace, That's why the practice becomes very important. So every moment becomes important for our practice. Not just one session, 2 sessions a day, but every moment, whole day, the practice becomes crucial. See, intellectually we can investigate all as a mirage. Yeah. It's become very easy, like a reflection, as a mirage. Like a tree, when you investigate, you see the tree, they are very real. But if you investigate all into pieces, there's no real tree. So tree is a mirage. Same as person, when you see people, you see it's very real. But if you investigate, whole part of your body is just a mirage. There's no any kind of one substance is permanent. Nothing. So it's mirage. So intellectually that we can see that way, but still practically we don't see it that way. We perceive as real. So for that reason, the practice becomes crucial. As yesterday we talked about the momentary nature. As everything is a momentary nature. That's like that way also is a mirage. So when you see the mirage shivering, shivering, that shivering nature symbolizes the impermanence. All movement are that nature, Very impermanent, constitutive nature. When a rainbow appears in the sky, one sees many bright colors, but they do not really exist. So that is a distinctive nature, see. Distinctive nature of all phenomena. When you see the rainbow, the colors are so bright, clear, all in the right place. See, that's same as this whole world manifests in a very distinctive way, without mistake, cause and effect. See, that's understanding of that wisdom is called the wisdom, the discriminating wisdom. All each the cause and effect manifests very distinctively. That's what it's called inevitably, unyielding. It's called. Means unyielding means through the virtuous cause will bring happiness. Through the non-virtuous cause will bring suffering. And within that each, there's so many distinctive causes, conditions. So all rise very clearly without mess up. Yet, it's like a rainbow. It's non-existent. When we perceive rainbow is so real, so clear, but when we try to get there, try to hold it there, nothing. It's called this 8 holy dharmas, 8 holy concerns, like a chasing the rainbow. The rainbow is so attractive and beautiful. And then when you make effort to try to get it and put in a museum, you can't get it, Maybe in our living room, That doesn't. That won't happen, So like that, the 8 holy concerns are like the rainbow, chasing the rainbow, That's why in the Shanti there was mentioned in the text. We said 동행 돌때 세메가 동행이랑 엄청 좋았어. 다와도자 띠모베 랑게 다와 다다 좀 동행 돌때 세메가 동행이랑 엄청 좋. Can you get that word? Huh? No? 대화대장 띠모베 랑게 다와 다다 좀 그래서 대화대장 even though we desire happiness because of the ignorance we destroy it as if it was enemy. We desire to free from suffering, but we chase after the suffering. So not because not understanding of this kind of teaching, that happens. Every in the world just see it. No, just investigate, For the happiness, making war, see. To bring peace, we say. To bring peace, to make peace, make war. But then result, no peace. So destroy peace. Like that. For a long run, for a short run, just see that, So these teachings build strength. Yes, those days we discussed when we say illusion means something like a very kind of say no strength, no feeling of any good, or kind of say some kind of pessimistic, Sometimes we feel like that. But this is the other way around. By knowing illusion, building a strength, there comes the indomitable strength. Mental kind of confidence comes from there, which is based on great wisdom and compassion. Knowing all the cause and effect distinctively, precisely. And then we sacrifice small thing to enlightenment. Generally, we sacrifice a lot of good things for small. Now here, we can sacrifice small thing for enlightenment, for oneself, for all the sentient beings. That's what Buddha did, see. He sacrificed his small kingdom and benefited countless sentient beings, including his own family, relatives, people. Still now people are getting benefit. If you just Milarewa say, he sacrificed his sister. When he was in the mountain, no clothes, no food, his sister was embarrassed, and she said, "We are the worst people on this world. In this world, there's no worse people than we are. Now, can you get something? Can't you get something better? No, I haven't seen such Dharma practitioner like you. Who has no food, no clothes. If you go to some monastery, maybe we can get some food to eat. Then he said, "Don't worry, be relaxed, something good will come out from this, he said. So like that has such a wisdom, knowing, there's a confidence. That's called real wisdom. So that wisdom comes by knowing these things, having wisdom of those like this teacher. Everything's like a mirage, like a rainbow. So, likewise, all phenomenal appearances, although we see them, do not really exist. When practicing like this, we should not be satisfied with merely intellectual understanding, but should rid ourselves of grasping attachment to all things, and actually experience them as illusion. This needs to be realized. This needs to be accomplished. Because it's an intellectual. Intellectual understanding is like the patch your cloth, like the patch, and it will fall off anytime, Or to stay there, When there's a hole, you patch it, and then after some it fall off. So we intellectually say, oh, now I got it now. I say, oh, that's it, Then after a couple of days or a couple of weeks, they say, you finish, disappear, not here. So, God help us that God is still here. So that's nice teaching, isn't it? Yeah, so this, you see, to know these things, we have to have some study, practice before, see. So if we don't have this kind of teaching, some kind of experiences, Dharma practices before, like if we talk now, it won't make any sense. So maybe you won't like it. So I don't like to see everything as an illusion, Then there's what's the purpose of life, where you are here, Those questions comes, So to know this, have to have some base, or some experience, practice before. Because of our Dharma practice for some years, in reading, expressing, discussing, investigating, now when we go through this, it makes so much sense. You think, yes, that's real, that's true. So that, as we were talking about, the mind is such a hidden subject, such a profound subject. It's not just mere empty. The mind is very profound, vast, no limit. More we study this and practice this, more experiences come. So true Dharma understanding comes through the practice, not just reading books. When you practice this way, then when it comes, oh yes, this is it. Oh yes, this is it. So true Dharma understanding comes there, and that gives you such great joy, feeling of fortunate, I say, this is what now is supposed to happen, or this is what is happening. That kind of experience is then very stable. No. Otherwise, sometimes in some short meditation, different light comes, and then there's different images come, and that makes unstable. So it's kind of they come and go, and we don't know. And sometimes it makes confusion, what it means, how I have to relate with this, like this. But this kind of teaching that from inside the mind, seeing these things, you experience these things, but cannot express so well. There's some kind of very profound feeling there. You can feel it, but you cannot say it in the word. That's called inexpressible experience. No need to express. No. And just keep practicing on the basis of that. And you feel so fortunate looking at the whole world system, and how all people are confused and creating negative karma. And we at the same time get some kind of time to practice Dharma, knowing this experience, these teachings. We're so fortunate, And really kind of great joy comes from there. No need to expect for that kind of joy, happiness, but it's just there. They said when the sandalwood is there, the smell of the sandalwood is just with that. It's called co-emergent, isn't it? It's called co-emergent. When you have sandalwood, you don't have to expect the smell, If it is real sandalwood, it just smells there. So when we have good practice, this experience just there. No need to attach to that. No need to hate that. It's just there. So what important is just practicing Dharma, not expecting the result. Looking at this, such a preciousness, just continue. Okay, maybe this is good, isn't it? And tomorrow we'll start with the practice of support. So this is the 8th example of the studying all phenomena as an illusion through the 8th example. What do you have? We have a few minutes. Time is maybe question discussion this afternoon. Okay. Now we'll do a short meditation practice. Okay. It's good to do that. First, please recollect the discussions we had for a short time that we had. So everything as a mirage. It seems real. Yet there's no independent entity. Where we perceive as real doesn't exist by its own. So by realizing this, we make effort to free our mind from attachment, hatred, jealousy, pride, of course, ignorance. So we reflect all the phenomena this way. And then next, we see everything as a rainbow, manifests very distinctively, depending on the cause and conditions. Without existing inherently. So all the causes and conditions we cannot ignore. Whatever cause, whether virtuous or non-virtuous, rises, manifests the result very distinctively, inevitably. Whether we know it or don't know it, is how phenomena are constituted on the nature of the law of cause and effect. So there we make our mind to make effort in the working based on the virtues. So this way, please reflect on this subject for a few moments. Now, illusory body teaching that we have last for 4 days. We have been just 4 days. Yes, 4 days. We have been studying those each 2 topics. Magic show, dreams, and echoes and reflections, dew and bubble, mirage and rainbow. Through these examples, we have been studying how everything is like an illusion, how we should see. First here we have in this first prayer, in this motivation, it's this altruistic motivation prayer that is said, all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles in my path to liberation and all knowingness, may they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. It's such a powerful teaching, put into the prayer to apply in our practice, to apply in our mind. So if we see everything as an illusion, like as a dew, a bubble, as a mirage, as a rainbow, then the kind of the hatred in the mind, the resentment in the mind just releases by itself. Seeing this all as a concrete, there's no any concrete, real, permanent is there. So by seeing that, just releases that kind of concrete thought, the resentment just releases. As we are discussing about, it's not just a mere kind of negating this hatred thought, but at the same time, through that releasing the resentment, hatred, then rises the great compassion. Seeing that that person is suffering, overpowered by this illusion as real. So seeing everything as real, then all the sentient beings are overpowered by that. And when we know these teachings, how all phenomena exist, how they are functioning, by seeing, by realizing how all phenomena are function, coexist with the causes and conditions. Then other sentient beings who are not introduced these teachings, who don't have this wisdom, then that great compassion rises there. For us, feeling of very easiness, kind of very easy, not really a big deal. At the same time, those people or those sentient beings, other side, for them it's so powerful, so real, and just completely deluded by that perception, and then great compassion rises from there. So the wisdom side, seeing all as illusion, including all the sentient beings. At the same time, seeing their situation, suffering, then great compassion rises there. So that's what it means, great compassion. See, it's not just a kind of nothing, It's not just a feeling of nothingness. So that's why there's compassion. There arises. There are three different types of compassions in previous. Compassion rises from the projecting, by projecting at the state of the suffering nature of sentient beings. That's called simjala megwe nyingje. The compassion arises as the sentient beings as a project, as an object. Means who are suffering constantly there. This is easier first. It's easy to see, easy to develop compassion when you look at the suffering nature of the sentient beings. See, that's as a beginner. So teach that way. We practice that way, looking at the suffering, different level of the suffering of the sentient beings, physical suffering, mental suffering, like that. When that is more developed, then so where the sufferings come from, where these suffering they come from. They come from the cause. What are the cause of suffering? The 10 non-virtues. See, looking at the 10 non-virtues, what are those 10 non-virtues? Then those anyone who are involved in the 10 non-virtues, rather we get upset, rather we be angry, be angry, especially resentful, instead of be resentful, then rises the compassion. So those who are creating the 10 non-virtues are the real victim of the suffering. So it's more profound compassion rises there. See? So when that is more developed, this practice is more developed, then everything is just a cause and effect. Everything is just an illusion, like a mirage. So all the sentient beings are wandering in that state of the mirage. constantly, one after another, without realizing the teaching. Then there comes the non-objectified great compassion. There's no any independent entity, phenomena to bring as an object. Everything as an illusion. Within that state, this samsara is just a wheel of suffering and great compassion. So these three different compassions I explained that way. So that this practice is such a wonderful, First we say this, then more we study these teachings, more these prayers makes deeper sense, So those prayers are written in such a way, from the enlightened mind, and just put into as a prayer form. So we just repeat every day. So then depend on the different level of the practitioner, can get such a different meaning, understanding and experiencing. So that's the practice. So the illusion about the practice, how it becomes, So therefore the outer appearances are but illusion. Now we understand more, isn't it, now, what that means? See? Just as illusion. Inner experiences are inexpressible. So now you can see now what that means. See now that before 4 days, or 4 days before, when we start, that now it makes a big difference, now. So now we understand what it means, inexpressible. So through realizing this all as an illusion, that helps to stabilize the mind, dispel the confusion. So mind is so clear. See? The strength of the attachment, resentment that we have, like 4 days ago, okay. Now at this time, there's a big difference, you see. Big difference. Even though it's like a patch, but still now it's a little big difference, So that when we have that the clear stability of the mind, not so much bouncing back and forth in the object, there's such a joy, feeling of freedom. So that's inexpressible. See? Day and night arising experiences are the nirmaka. So now with this understanding, everything is a manifestation. Manifests just with cause and effect. Like mirage, like rainbow, like a mirage shivering, all are just that way manifesting. Like a rainbow distinctively. Now we know how to practice Dharma, how to work with our own mind. Rather say, fixing so much outside, this and that, fixing in the mind, how to fix the mind now, put in the right place, so work with that. Sometimes it's challenging, as in the Shantideva's text mentioned, Bodhicharya. Good morning.
Morning.
Please come here. Here's a seat. Yeah, you did. So so everything arises, causes, conditions. So that way, it's fixing the mind. In the Shantideva's text mentioned, since we are not fully perfected in this practice, we will encounter a lot of obstacles, a lot of sufferings, difficulties. When we get as a fight in the battle with the afflictive emotions, and there when we make the battle, the fight with that, with the afflictive emotions, we will encounter a lot of harms, difficulties, sufferings, because we have to sacrifice a lot of things. And a lot of sacrificing, a lot of obstacles that we through. That usually we blame to others, somebody, something, always. Now to bring back to work in our own mind, this kind of big changing, big kind of shift, isn't it? It's a big shift. Shifting now is looking at your own mind, practicing that as a purification, as a building strength, like that. No. But it is said, when we could encounter these obstacles, sufferings, successfully, that's real warrior now. It's real warrior. Because warrior means you defeat somebody. When you encounter, when you are fighting, you defeat the other side. When you could defeat other side successfully, then it's called warrior, isn't it? It's a general. He or she is a general, the warrior, Then people praise, Now here, the warriors now who are fighting with the afflictive emotions. So that how we call warrior. So until we get rid of this, until we annihilate, uproot these afflictive emotions, so they will not disappear by themselves. No. Also, not only that, as long as they are there, become a cause of suffering. Or they themselves are the nature of suffering. Like anger is there, we just suffer. So that until we purify, they won't go away. So that since it is a cause of all the suffering for oneself and others, our relatives, they come very friendly, very friendly, so, the kind of cherishing you, Oh, somebody's doing something for you, or somebody's harming to you. So we become a friend with them, Then in reality, create more suffering. So that until we until we win the battle, they won't go away. So when we win that battle as a real warrior, that's the basic. So that from that, then a true sense kind of responsibility for ourselves and all others lies there. So the build is basically showing how to build a strength in the mind, not become more fragile. Sometimes when you practice Dharma, you become more fragile. You expect too much. See, through this practice, then maybe I'll be kind of a little happier. Maybe not less obstacle. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe a less obstacle. If I recite this mantra, maybe there will be not so much obstacle. if I do one short session of meditation, then there will be not so much difficult suffering, So we expect so much from that, and we become more fragile. I think that's not so right. Then there's danger to give up Dharma teachings, because you recite mantra, sometimes rise more obstacle. Then you ask question, why? Before I start meditation, I was fine, no problem, Now I started Dharma practice, recite mantra, all these obstacles are coming. Why, So we were expecting so much, Rather, we use the practice as a vehicle to encounter these obstacles successfully. We become very fragile. So this here teaches how to build a strength, seeing everything is illusion, then overcome all the obstacles, all the sufferings successfully. Then, as I mentioned, suffering becomes an ornament instead of big burden. Through building strength, then the suffering becomes an ornament. Okay, so now today we'll go through this page 4 in this booklet. Page. We're done. You miss all the important part. Today we have into practice now. Last 4 days we have just discussing about